Hidden origins of Christianity. Really shocking. Christianity is the world's most popular religion, having more than 2 billion followers. But have you ever wondered where Christianity really comes from? Not just Jesus and the Bible, but the deeper, hidden stuff? Buckle up, because we're about to explore the astonishing secrets of this mega religion. From enigmatic early sects to forgotten traditions and mysterious ancient communities, we'll uncover the fascinating stories that shaped Christianity's rich tapestry. You will be amazed as we'll explore the hidden origins of Christianity like never before. Before you dive into the video, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more upcoming videos. Let's get right into the video. Christian sects and Gnostic traditions. Let's get back to the first few centuries of the Common Era, when Christianity was still in its early stages. Can you imagine that there were other Christian sects and Gnostic traditions that emerged alongside the mainstream Christianity we know today? These groups offered alternative interpretations of Jesus' teachings and the nature of God. For instance, the Ebionites were among one of those groups that emphasized the Jewish roots of Christianity and held on to many Jewish customs. In early days of Christianity, there were two groups of people who had different beliefs. The first group was called the Marcionites. They did not believe in the Hebrew Bible. They thought that the Old and New Testaments should be separated. The second group was the Montanists, who believed that prophecy played a very important role and that the Holy Spirit guided them in their beliefs. These were just two of the many other groups that had different beliefs and contributed to the diverse theological landscape of early Christianity. The Oriental Orthodox Churches. Oriental Orthodox churches are Christian communities with unique ways of worship and beliefs. These churches include the Coptic Church, Armenian Church, Syriac Church, Ethiopian Church, and Eritrean Church. What's interesting is that each of these churches has its own set of distinctive rituals and ideas about their faith. To learn more about these churches, their fascinating traditions and beliefs, keep watching. Coptic Church. Let's start with the Coptic Church. It has its roots in Egypt and traces its beginnings back to Saint Mark, one of the disciples of Jesus. According to tradition, Saint Mark traveled to Egypt and preached the message of Christianity there. Over time, a vibrant Christian community developed in Egypt, and the Coptic Church emerged as one of the oldest Christian churches in the world. The Coptic Church has preserved ancient traditions and practices that date back to the early centuries of Christianity. They have a unique liturgy and spiritual expression that reflect their rich heritage. The Armenian Apostolic Church. Did you know that the Armenian Apostolic Church is proudly claimed to be the oldest national church in the world? It all began in the early 4th century, when Armenia adopted Christianity as its state religion and became one of the first countries to do so. Since then, the Armenian Apostolic Church has played a significant role in the formation of Christian theology and has contributed to the development of Christian thought. What's unique about this church is its distinct liturgical traditions, language, and cultural expressions that have shaped its identity as a unique branch of Christianity. Syriac Orthodox Church of Antioch. The Syriac Orthodox Church, also known as the Syrian Orthodox Church, has a rich history and unique traditions. It is rooted in Bab Tuma, Damascus, that is an important center of early Christianity. The Syriac Orthodox Church has preserved the Syriac language, which is closely related to Aramaic, the language spoken by Jesus. It has a rich liturgical heritage and has significantly contributed to Christian thought and spirituality. The Ethiopian and Eritrean Orthodox Churches. These two churches originated in the ancient kingdom of Aksum, which is called Ethiopia and Eritrea nowadays. What's interesting is that their religious practices have been influenced by Judaism and indigenous traditions, giving them a unique liturgical style that combines ancient Jewish practices with the rich Ethiopian culture. In particular, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church is known for its vibrant worship, ancient monastic traditions, and distinctive religious art. It's a treasure trove of spiritual traditions that have been passed down through generations. All of these Oriental Orthodox churches have preserved ancient traditions, rituals, and beliefs that have been passed down through generations. They have played a significant role in developing Christian thought and spirituality. Each of these churches has its own unique identity and cultural expressions, reflecting the diverse ways Christianity has taken root and flourished throughout history. The Nestorian Church and the Church of the East. Long ago, in places like Persia, now Iran, India, Central Asia, and China, There were two Christian schools of thoughts belonged to the Nestorian Church and the Church of the East. They had unique ideas about Jesus that set them apart from most other Christians. These groups embarked on journeys to spread their teachings of Christianity to different parts of Asia. They followed a trade route called the Silk Road, which was famous for connecting various regions of Asia. Nestorian Church was named after a theologian named Nestorius, who had a unique idea about Jesus' nature. According to Nestorius, Jesus was actually two separate persons, one divine and one human, instead of a unified divine human being. This idea was quite different from what most Christians believed at the time, and as a result, his church became known as the Nestorian Church. Unfortunately, his new perspective was not accepted by the larger Christian community, and the Nestorian Church was considered heretical. However, despite being labeled as heretical, the Nestorian Church significantly impacted Eastern Christianity. They actively engaged in missionary activities along the Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected East and West. Nestorian missionaries traveled to various regions, including Persia, India, Central Asia, and China, spreading the message of Christianity and establishing Christian communities. The Nestorian Church gained prominence in China during the Tang Dynasty, 618–907 AD. Its followers were warmly welcomed by the Chinese imperial court and had an influential presence in major cities like Chang'an, present-day Xi'an. The Nestorian Christians in China translated Christian scriptures into Chinese and actively participated in intellectual and cultural exchanges with the Chinese scholars of the time. In the same manner, the Church of the East, also known as the Persian Church or the Assyrian Church, emerged as a distinct Eastern Christian community. They had a similar missionary zeal and spread Christianity to various parts of Asia. The Church of the East had a significant presence in regions such as Persia, India, and Central Asia, and even reached as far as China. They established churches, monasteries, and educational institutions along their missionary routes. Although both the Nestorian Church and the Church of the East were considered heretical by the mainstream Christian community, their influence on Eastern Christianity cannot be overlooked. They were vital in transmitting Greek philosophy, science, and Christian theological ideas to the East. They also profoundly impacted the cultural and intellectual development of the regions they traversed. Over time, the Nestorian Church and the Church of the East faced challenges, including persecution and political upheavals. Furthermore, the rise of Islam in the 7th century and subsequent political changes greatly affected their existence and presence in various regions. However, their contributions to Eastern Christianity and the spread of the Christian faith along the Silk Road remain significant chapters in the history of Christianity. African Christianity, Coptic, Ethiopian, and Nubian Christianity. African Christianity encompasses various traditions, with particularly significant Coptic, Ethiopian, and Nubian branches. Despite facing challenges over the centuries, these traditions have preserved their unique practices and maintained connections to early Christian history. Coptic Christianity. The Coptic Church, based in Egypt, has a long and rich history. It traces its origins back to the Apostle Saint Mark, believed to have brought Christianity to Egypt. The Coptic Church has faced persecution and struggles throughout its existence, but it has managed to maintain its distinct rituals and traditions. The Coptic liturgy, for example, has been celebrated in the Coptic language for many centuries, connecting present-day believers to the early days of Christianity. Ethiopian Christianity. It has its roots in the ancient Ethiopian kingdom of Aksum, and Christianity became the state religion there in the 4th century. Various traditions, including Judaism and indigenous African beliefs, have influenced Ethiopian Christianity. Ethiopian Christians have preserved unique practices, such as the observance of the Sabbath and circumcision, which reflect their historical connections to Judaism. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church has a vibrant spiritual tradition and is known for its ancient monastic practices and religious art. Nubian Christianity. It is developed in the region of ancient Nubia, which is present-day Sudan. It emerged in the early centuries of Christianity, and it is connected to the Coptic and Ethiopian traditions. Nubian Christians built impressive churches and monasteries, some of which can still be seen today as archaeological sites. Despite the challenges of political changes and Islamic influences, Nubian Christianity has left its mark on the religious and cultural history of the region. The Christianities of Asia. Do you know that Christianity in Asia has evolved in fascinating ways? It has adapted to the local cultures and traditions, creating unique forms of Christianity. For instance, the Malabar Christians in India and Thomas Christians have been practicing their faith for centuries, while Christians in China and Japan have also developed their own distinct versions of Christianity. Despite facing adversity and persecution, these communities have managed to blend their beliefs with their respective societies, resulting in a beautiful and diverse tapestry of Christianity in Asia. The Malabar Christians, or Thomas Christians, have a long history in India. According to tradition, they trace their origins back to the Apostle Thomas, believed to have brought Christianity to India in the 1st century. Over time, the Malabar Christians developed their distinct customs and traditions while incorporating elements of Indian culture into their religious practice. In China and Japan, Christianity encountered different cultural contexts. Christian missionaries arrived in China as early as the 7th century and made significant efforts to spread the faith. Similarly, Christianity reached Japan in the 16th century. In both countries, Christians faced periods of persecution and suppression, but they also adapted to the local cultures and integrated their beliefs into wider society. Modern-day Christian movements. In more recent times, different Christian movements have emerged and made a significant impact. One example is the revivals that took place in the 19th century. These revivals aimed to bring a renewed sense of faith and devotion among Christians. They introduced new ideas and practices, challenging the traditional beliefs of the time and causing a reshaping of Christianity. Another notable movement is the rise of charismatic and Pentecostal groups. These groups emphasize the Holy Spirit's work in believers' lives. They believe in spiritual gifts, such as healing, prophecy, and speaking in tongues. They seek to experience the same manifestations of the Holy Spirit's power described in the New Testament. This movement has gained popularity and has attracted followers from various Christian denominations. Both the revivals and the charismatic Pentecostal movements have brought about changes in Christian worship and beliefs. They have encouraged a more personal and experiential approach to faith, challenging the more traditional practices of the past. These modern-day movements have significantly impacted Christianity, influencing how people understand and practice their faith in the present day. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. We hope you have found it helpful and thought-provoking. If you want to dive deeper into more fascinating topics, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Remember, exploring the origins of our beliefs helps us gain a better understanding of our shared history. Thank you.